Hello everyone. I rarely make these types of videos anymore because I used to make them a lot, and I usually don't post them here, but I'll post them to the other channels too. And I know if I post it to my Little Cow channel, it'll probably get hardly any views. I don't care. I do what I want. Anyway, God is trying to grow me back. Story. I have in my life been the person who says whatever they think, was very harsh, in not thinking before speech, was very judgmental in the bad way. And so God sat me down and told me that is something I need to work on. Being slow to speak, being slow to anger, being slow to stop running away from things, stop quitting things, long suffering. But I guess that season is now over, because that's what I have been doing. Somebody has a black and white kitty like Bowie Bird. It's in the window. My sister had a black and white kitty. She had seizures, and we didn't know she had seizures. And she got killed by someone's black lab. Sorry, that has nothing to do. The kitty was in the window. I'm sorry. Anyway, me who got the new glasses because my eyes are getting worse could see the cat in the top window like a ways away. Anyway, I'm at beauty school, right? I'm going to say this. There is a difference. I don't know if YouTube is going to like this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's going on Rumble too. Between, I don't even like that word, Afro-Americans and niggas are at the school, not the students. I'm the only college student they have. Well, that's a lie. There's two. One is absolutely useless, and they just started, so they're supposed to be sort of useless. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Bowie Bird. Anyway, sorry. Look just like her. Anyway, let me stop reminiscing about the cat. She was so cute. And she had like a mustache, like black dots. She wasn't like a tuxedo kitty. She was like, had black splotches on her. And we said she was Chinese because she was black and white and she had like a very high-pitched meow. And like the mustache, like I said, like she was just cute. Anyway, I'm sorry. She got killed on my dad's birthday. And she was in her own yard, too. So somebody's dog came in our yard and killed her. Threw her up against the siding of the house and broke her neck. Anyway, sorry, that's traumatizing. I'm sorry. This whole few days has been traumatizing for me, so I'm sorry. I'm taking up vaping again. I do not care. The world is trying me, so God is going to have to... And the story on that was, this lady came into the school, and she's just like talking about God and how a Christian is supposed to be, basically not doing certain things, which is correct, and basically live different than everybody else in all those things. And I absolutely agree. God is going to have to meet me halfway because this is some bullshit, and he understands that, and I know he does. This is dealing with niggas. So, this lady who is a nail instructor, this is a very disorganized, nigga-ish school. I'll have to cut that out. Nothing makes sense. Nothing. So, long story short, there's a lot of things that have happened that I just eat. I eat it. I don't do back and forth. I don't get loud and confrontational. I don't, that's not me. If you ever meet me in real life, that's not me. I'm not the angry black woman. I am, and that's why I'm treated the way that I am. Because, yes, I can get loud when I'm passionate about something. Like, I'm not saying that I don't. But I'm not going to be the black woman who you could hear 10 blocks down the road, a mile down the road, and get all, that's just not me. I don't have to do that to make a point. Also, I'm not one of these, and I hate the word black because I'm not a black person. There is no such thing as a black person. An Afro-American, I Just like there's Afro-Caribbeans, there's Afro-Europeans, that's what I'm saying. Legally, and people need to stop calling themselves black, because in America, black legally means something and what you want. So I would not call myself black. Anyway, it's going to snow. I've dealt with a lot of things at the school. My way of dealing with things is, if I have told you, requested things of you nicely, civilly, and these are things that you know you should be doing, and I've asked you more than 5 times, I'm not going to ask anymore, because clearly you don't want to do it. Plus, whenever I am quiet, people have a problem with that. When I am vocal and I set up boundaries and I say it how it needs to be said and like it is, nicely, no name calling, no negative, very professional. People have a problem with that now. So now I have a meeting with staff, which is not going to happen, because I'm going there on my time, not their time. But I have a meeting with management and staff, my beauty school. We're communicating, because that's what I was accused of. I'm sorry that I didn't realize that my teacher, who's a cos, he has his barbers and cos license, and is licensed to teach. So 3. I'm sorry that he cannot communicate with the other educators around him. So I guess that's my fault. And therefore, I wasn't communicating with another educator who I do have a lot of respect for. Have lost all respect for mine. But I shouldn't say all, because if I have literally lost all respect for you, most respect for this individual, male individual who needs to be on medication. And I don't say that to be funny. I say that if you cannot handle life and the situations they're in this, like Prince would say, in this thing called life, without gnashing your teeth, getting nasty, verbally abusive, looking like you want to bow up on somebody, then you need to be on medication. You need to do something. That is above my pay grade, and that's not my responsibility. I didn't even say anything about that, because I'm not a type of woman who's going to confront a very angry male who's mad because his daddy yelled at him. This is a grown man, by the way. Not quite 30, but almost there, pushing it. So this is not a 16-year-old. This is not me being harsh to a middle schooler. This is not me being mean to a grade schooler. No, this is a grown man with a wife and kid. So, and it seems like everybody saves him. They protect him. But you want to not only be a educator at this school, create a music school, so you can abuse the children there? Okay. See what happens when I communicate. People, you want me long-suffering, nice, and quiet. Because if God has given me directions that it is time to come out of that season, I will be kind. I'm not going to be nice. Those are 2 different things. And if you ever watch Narnia, it's one of my favorite parts, one of my favorite just sayings in general. When, I don't remember which kid asked him, whether it was Lucy or Edmund wasn't there, he's a piece of shit, and I still don't forgive him for that, because I know my sibling who's just like that. And yeah, anyway, and he got away with murder, literally, in that book. But we're gonna, and the youngest, because I'm the youngest, doesn't get shit, and I should have just not said nothing to y'all. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I get emotional about that book because it bothers me. Anyway, my favorite saying from Narnia is when one of the kids asked Mr. Beaver if Aslan is safe, and Mr. Beaver's like, of course he's not safe, but he's good. And that is so true. You don't need to be safe, you need to be good. Because a good person, and I hate that word, but a good Christian, let's just say that, does what they should. Let's just put it that way. You don't have to be safe. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to say whatever people want you to say and be a sacrificial lamb and get kicked in the teeth and kicked in the back and all this other stuff that people want you to be, so they can run over you and treat you like shit. You are to be good. Anyway, so I have a problem communicating, which is really this Negro male, and it really has reminded me why I refuse to date black men. I'm sorry, it's going to be one of those. Absolutely refuse. Because they have, if you have mommy issues, and Six the Goddess said this, and she just reiterated what I already, if you have mommy issues, you're just not to be dealt with. You're just not to be dealt with. Period. You're just not to be dealt with. And most black males in America have mommy issues. I will be single by myself if some other group of man does not want to deal with me, because I refuse to deal with an Afro-American male. I just refuse. I just refuse. My window's dirty. Anyway, so what really pissed me off was clients love coming into our beauty school and telling lies. They like telling lies, so either they can get a lower price, which are already rock bottom. Literally, I hate Gary, Indiana. I don't live there. I go to school there. Hate Gary, Indiana. Everybody there is broke. But they act in a certain way, like they above it. They are above you. They're better than you. They're this. They're that. But they'll come in a beauty school and bitch over a $25 bill. You can't go nowhere and get your hair done for $25. They will come in and lie. The lie. This lady wanted cornrows. That's what she wanted. She said they don't have to look good. I'm going to put a hat on, and she was going to get braids done later by the Africans. I said, okay. Because I learned how to do cornrows. Are they the neatest? No, but she said they don't even have to look good. Okay, fine. Perfect. She had an attitude. She just had an attitude, and that's how a lot of these bitches. I have seen, is this what white people and other groups of people think black women are? And it hurts me. It hurts, because I'm not that way. I know a lot of Afro women who are not that way. They're ghetto trash. And I said what I said, and I'm not taking it back because I meant it. There used to be classes in Afro society. Now it all got blended. That's why we all get blamed for the actions of usually ghetto trash, who have no concept of manners, have no concept of how to behave, no concept of anything. And decency, none of that. I remember when I was in Chicago, it wasn't just me, I was a kid with my family, and we lived next to the projects in Chicago. I was probably 4 or 5, and I can remember this just vividly. You know how, like, in the projects, there's like, or some apartments in general, where there's like the fire escape. That's basically what it is. There's a bunch of stairs, and then it goes down, and that whole thing. And I was looking up, and the door was open, because it was summertime. Either spring or summertime. The weather was nice, either way. And this black mother, screaming at her son, her little black boy, little Afro boy, screaming at him. And my parents are not perfect. They were not perfect. There's things that they have done that I still haven't gotten over. And all of this experience at my school has made me appreciate them so much more than I ever have. They have done a lot of things wrong, but at least in the areas that count, they attempted to create a human being who could go out into this world, me, and be a decent human being to the rest of the human beings in this world. And doesn't know everything, but is willing to learn, patient, willing to exist in a society in a harmonious way, in a harmonious fashion, in a productive fashion, in a semi-mentally stable fashion, Because I'm not mentally well.